I would rather my partner hang out with that ex than that you end up living a life where you are avoiding a lot of experiences simply because of your partner's insecurity.
No thanks. Why would I? You know, at which point, right, do you start resenting your partner also, yeah?
After the dry, I just throw everything on the sofa.
No, sofa is...
Because
No, not the same.
Okay, so you've seen us talk about red flags, green flags in relationships, even beige flags. But we've discovered another flag, yeah.
We got a lot of flags.
Again,
Amber flag. I almost forget the color.
I was like
editor,
blue.
please.
Amber flag. Today we're going to explore this, and also I think it led to a very interesting conversation, which is kind of about how in relationships, right? I think we oftentimes come to points where we are questioning whether we should change ourselves for the better of the relationship, or whether we should stand our ground. So I thought that was an interesting thing to explore, which we will get to later lah. But first, what is an amber flag?
Let's go.
Okay?
What is it?
So, from my understanding, an amber flag is basically something that you hear early on in dating from a partner that is not really a red flag, but you like don't feel right about it. So you question it, then you want to try and figure it out. The example is from a colleague that shared it during lunch. Early on dating his girlfriend, she basically brought up the concept of amber flags, and the example that she mentioned is that she was co-parenting 2 dogs with her ex-partner of 6 years.
Yo,
So she has to go over to her ex's place every week to walk the dogs and bring them to the vet with her ex.
it's like divorced parents like that.
A little
But
bit.
is it really?
No, like that's the child ma.
I feel like divorced parents are a bit more understandable, yeah.
Yeah. But because the divorce already happened, then you're like, can't stand seeing them, but I have to for the sake of the kid.
Yeah.
But this one is like, you're not legally obliged to go and see the dog, but you're doing it because you love the dog enough that you're willing to put up with seeing the ex. I don't know how many things of these were euphemisms. Walk the dog. Bring him to the vet. Like, how many of these were?
Marking the territory.
And barking.
Woof woof.
And then I don't...
Is there a
Yeah.
consensus that if this situation happens to you it's not amber, it's actually red?
Okay, honestly, I can understand it. I can understand how much you can love a pet, and especially one that you've co-parented. To me, if it's early relationship, first, second date, a bit of a red flag to me. Too much baggage that I'm prepared for, because there is just too much of these opportunities for like 2 exes to still like rekindle or reconnect. I'm just not comfortable with the whole thing. Now, realizing as I'm saying all this, our colleagues actually going through it, I feel bad for saying all of
No,
this.
Depends on the ownership. If it was like half, right? I think it's fair that we are sharing time with the cat. But not together. It can be like half. Maybe sometimes together lah for the cat's sake. But I think it belongs to me, right? As soon as I get a new partner, right? Then you bye-bye. Maybe you can visit once in a while. Just to see, but not often, because we are divorced and I have a new partner.
So you would say that if your current partner, he says, sorry, your cat can never see the father, the real father again.
I feel like will be a bit put off because
Yeah.
I feel like he don't have empathy for cat.
Okay.
Is that cat...
Which I realize I really don't.
Is that cat's feelings more important than a human being's
Yes.
feelings?
I realize a lot of parents feel that way.
No, because I have such a strong love for my cat, right? My cat takes precedence over my partner in certain situations. And I feel like this is one of them.
I think there are many factors at play here. I need to know how long they have been co-parenting and whether they got the pet together. How did the previous relationship end? And then what is their relationship like now? How long has it been? What's the time apart that they have just been not together but co-parenting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Co-parenting. Okay, lah.
Such a wise response. Where you measure.
Because I feel like it's not on another person to judge a lot of these things. Like, it's so complex, it's so nuanced, right? You cannot just write it off as like, I'm not comfortable because you are still constantly around your ex for this reason.
No, that I 100% disagree. As like someone who's entering a new relationship, I think it's up to them to determine whether this is within my comfort levels. If I'm someone who's naturally insecure, I wouldn't date someone who is still friends with like their most recent ex.
That's why I say the time apart matters. You break up for 1 week already, then you are still like chummy friends and whatever, sure. But if it's your most recent ex, right, but you were together, let's say like 4 years ago, big difference, right?
No, sure, but the part where it's not up to this new person to like judge a relationship, I think, no, what you are trying to get, you're dating this new person, right? It is up to them to determine whether I'm comfortable with this or not. Now, I'm not saying that the action is for you to stop seeing your ex and to have this co-parenting situation. The action is to stop dating this person. Like, would just stop dating this person because I'm not comfortable with it. It's right for me to judge that way, ma.
Okay. I see where you're coming from.
At least to me, I can't see why this needs to happen. Maybe I don't have cat empathy or dog empathy. Like, so to me,
What
this
if he
is
was a
red flag.
child?
Yeah, so for a child, I can understand. Like, I feel like maybe I'm just a terrible person, but like,
You can only see it because the court mandated it. Because it's legally obliged to give the child FaceTime with the other parent.
yeah, but like, okay, like if you really want to break it down, like there is a huge stigma, right? And we have to acknowledge the stigma that single parents go through when they want to get into the dating world. They do face a certain stigma when they say I'm single but I have a child.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't want to date, and I think it's perfectly fine for them to be in this situation and be in the dating pool. I also think it's completely fine for people to be like, I don't want to date a single mom or a single dad. I think both have the right. So like, if people can be uncomfortable in that situation, I think people also are right to be uncomfortable in this situation.
Oh my god, hence Amber Flag.
Actually, I'm just thinking now that you mentioned it, right? What if like first date, then like she says, by the way, I have a kid. Then like,
Red flag!
no, I'm like,
Yeah.
I wish I had known this 10 minutes ago, but
No, but then you panic first. Then after you say, it's this cat. Then you're like, oh, okay.
You wanna see my baby? Then she take out one doll. Like, wow,
that one is flag. That one is
that one no. And my other baby, then she put it on the table.
It's a Russian doll.
During
It's
dinner,
the-
yeah. Then
Which
she
I
start preparing-
co-parent.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
And my ex is
creepy.
here and there's another dog. Yo.
Then he come in, he's like I know some magician dude also.
While I understand the POV of the pet owner and how I understand Allison's like POV on this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In the end, I would not say no to that. But oh my god, would I not hate every second of that when they are not with me or when I know they are there at that person's house?
Reliving their
Is that
family
a
life.
lack
Yeah.
of- isn't that a lack of trust?
It's not about lack of trust. It's that I trust my partner that they won't like hurt me in that way.
Yeah.
But every time they are there with the cat, it's a positive thing.
Yeah.
They are always only experiencing the positive time that they are with that ex because the only thing they're doing is like playing with the cat or taking care of the cat or whatever it is. It's the positive feel. So your brain is like, oh, every time I see this ex, I'm going to feel good about it because I'm only thinking about the cat. It's like a fun time. Then if she comes back and then we have to like deal with like, oh, you know, like I'm having trouble finding a job. Then I'm like the memory of the reality of life.
In fact, it's even
That
worse
person is-
because when they were in a relationship, they would have experienced both the positive and negative.
Yeah.
Now they're only
Only positive.
experiencing the positive.
That's the thing.
But then your partner is not an idiot, right?
Sure, but no, but
not.
that's human nature.
Yeah.
Because every time you go there, you're going to keep building that reinforcement that this is a positive time for me. Eventually, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to see my ex on Wednesday because we're going to play the cat. That's a good thing to look forward to.
Like, it's not out of the
But
question.
that's the same as like, okay, then you cannot have this very hot and sexy friend of the opposite sex because every time you go out and hang out one-on-one, it's only positive, what?
No, but it's
but
not.
you
At
are-
some point, you're gonna bang.
It's not always.
Yeah, you're reliving and you're reinforcing like positive core memories that you used to have. What? Like, it's not out of the question that you would suddenly think or that partner would suddenly think, wow, I do miss this a little bit. Like, it's not out of the question. And she doesn't have to be like, oh, I want to get back or anything. But for them to go back to you and then you live through both the positive and negative parts of life, like that's quite sian, ma.
I would rather my partner hang out with that ex who has this kind of like relationship than they hang out with like a friend who's like, you don't know whether they're interested or they have other intentions or whatever kind of thing. But with this person, it's already known. We tried, it didn't work out.
But exes get back together. What? Like, just because it didn't work out doesn't mean it can't happen again. Like, I'm not saying anything. Like, I can trust my partner and yet still be deeply insecure at the same time. Like, I think those two things are not mutually exclusive.
But there's one thing I don't understand. I don't understand why can't the partner pick up the dog from the ex's house and just bring it to their house for a day.
So they
then
have
return.
access to the ex's house.
No, so the only part that they meet, right, is literally to pick up the dog
Nah.
or the
Yeah.
cat or whatever.
It's like a drug deal handoff.
yeah, like why do they have to hang out? You know?
Right. No, but so you yourself mentioned, right, that it's like because the cat, like you said,
Yeah.
spent so much time with both of you together before. So you want to give that cat memories of that or
Yeah,
like
max 30 minutes. But then after that, the cat will get bored, you know?
Sure. 30 minutes is pushing it, like, I think, right?
So
Cats.
right. So should you get to know the ex?
No thanks.
No.
Why would I?
I don't know.
No.
No, so back to your situation, right? Like there's a pickup spot maybe, and then they just be like 1 minute and then like pass the leash, right? But the thing is that they both have to be texting to coordinate these things.
This kind of thing I like don't care.
I am just deeply
Do you?
insecure as a person, I think. Like why do they have to communicate? Communicate through me? No, let's not do that. Actually, I'm very curious to know your thoughts because, like, for example, you go on holidays with JP sometimes, and like you both have a really like purely platonic relationship. I would think.
Actually,
But-
we never go
but-
overseas alone after you get into a relationship,
Yeah,
right?
we had maybe soon. But then-
Whoa!
No, actually, I was the one who changed his mind. As in, he never thought about it like that before. I think
Okay.
previously he, in his friend groups also, is seen as something weird.
Yeah.
Like nobody around him does this. And then after he met me and then I tell him like, oh, I got go like on platonic trips with friends before ma. And I don't mind doing it now even if I'm attached, right? And then he suddenly like, oh. And then he also tried and then it was fine lah. Like I don't know if I changed him in that aspect. Because I think I gave a very good argument for it.
Let's hear it.
I just think like if you want to cheat, right, it doesn't have to be overseas.
Yeah.
Like it will happen anyway. Right? It doesn't matter the location. So I think as long as I trust my partner, right, then I should just, in whatever situation he do, right, it's up to him to keep to that trust lah. But then things like chores, right, I think that kind of like habits can change.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or like you should change.
Yeah, like if you are not someone who like you like to leave your clothes all over the floor, you should learn to pick it up and put it in the basket.
I don't think it's
Then
the
what's
like
the floor
this is
for?
me. As in-
Yeah.
Because at the start of the relationship, I'm a very messy and lazy person.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's it. That's the end of the
I do chores, but not very often. Versus my partner, he likes to do it every single day. At first, he was like, you don't have to change, I'll do it, you know? But then as the relationship progressed, right,
Yeah.
I think he see himself doing a lot of the work and then when he cleans something, then maybe I mess it up. Like maybe 5 minutes later and he'll get slowly annoyed.
This builds resentment. Like,
Yeah, so
resentment,
it accumulated to like an argument, a mini argument between us about my bad habits versus his very good habits. But I think it's a bit stringent, you know? So at first I was very defensive. Like, I don't have to like vacuum the house every day, what, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like after talking and I understand his point of view, he basically feels like this is a home we created. And he's cleaning not because he is a neat freak, like a bit of that, but it's because this is a house we built together and he wants to keep it at a good condition so that we can enjoy it together.
So this one is with regards to you recognizing change because I think it's also very interesting. Change always only happens internally when you decide you want to change. But that doesn't necessarily mean that your partner or you cannot bring up to your partner things that you feel that they should be changing and then let them consider and actively think about whether they want to work on it or not, right?
Yeah.
But it's not on them to expect you to change within a given amount of time.
Yeah.
So I felt like your example is interesting because it's of your own accord and your own choosing after you recognize it lah.
Yes, but the start wasn't. As in, so the start I was annoyed because now I have to clean. Like I come home, I just want to like faster take out my shoe and just go, right? At first I like a bit annoyed that when I come in there I have to put my shoe properly or like put my socks in the laundry. Then I like no, I just don't like. But you know when he sees it, then he like, hey, can you clear that? Like I just come home, I'm a bit tired, you know.
Yeah.
Then we will be a bit like annoyed. So at first it was very tense, I feel.
No, so what does the argument like? Does he just go or does he like?
So he's like, I tell you a lot of times already, like, can you please, he really tell me a lot of times, like, can you please clean your socks or can you please like open the window so that we can air the toilet? If not, it will grow mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, or like he'll ask me to like, can you pack this area? But then it's been 2 weeks and I never packed.
Okay.
I am lazy.
That sounds okay lah. It could be more peggo. It could be like, is this supposed to be here?
No, but for a while, like it like a year maybe. You know?
Okay.
Finally,
That jump from 2 weeks to a year.
That's a
because
bit.
it's
That's a
slowly
bit
built.
wild.
Like I will change and then I'll go back to the bad habit.
You know why? Because it's about values. Like Mark Manson has this Solve podcast. I don't know why I'm promoting another podcast that's way bigger and doesn't need a promotion. He actually talked about how to identify and understand your values, how they work together in relationships, right? Just knowing that, right, really helps you to reframe the perspective towards the differences that you have with your partner. Because like in this situation with like laundry, right? Bro, do you all fold your underwear? Do you all fold your clothes? That. Like I wash my clothes already, right? Every batch of laundry every week. I'm just going to take them all out and then wear them again. Right? Then I realized like I spend time like go and fold, right? Then I put on nicely, right? Actually, the container got like the drawer got enough space. I can just dump it there and then just take who is the folding serving? Unless I have very little space.
Yeah. No, okay.
Same for my shorts. Same for my shirts.
I'm like you, so I like to after the dry, I just throw everything on the sofa. I don't fold.
No, sofa is
Because
No, not the same.
wait,
I'm
just hear-
allocating.
Then what? You just take from a pile of clothes.
Nobody got want to really sit there in the next 3 days, no friends coming over. The next day, I need to go there and take my underwear or whatever.
But sofa shared space though.
Yeah lah, so I'm just a lazy bad person. At first, I just think like my value is like I don't like to fold because I'm gonna wear that anyway. Why don't I just take it from the sofa? Got one L shape. The L shape nobody like.
For sure. But there are levels to it,
Yeah,
you see.
but
His
until
level of laziness is drawer lah. Acceptable.
Acceptable, man. Acceptable.
Acceptable. Got space, you do lah, whatever lah.
Yeah.
No, but
Better than
even
that.
in the drawer, he thinks it's messy. But anyway, after I realized why he's cleaning so much, then I try myself. Then after I clean, I like, it feels very nice, right? To clean and make everything neat, right? Then I feel like that's where the real change happened.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. No, like to go back on like what John Bong mentioned about values, like actually like something that Ned and I did when we did our marriage preparation course for church, Engage Encounter, was that one of the most insightful parts of that, besides the financial part, was they asked you what was growing up like for you, what was your childhood and what did you like and not like. And I thought that was so that was so important because like that was the first time that I actually had an insight into my then was 6-7 year girlfriend that I didn't know. Like what was going up to her, like what were some core childhood memories that you wish to bring to our new family and what you wish not to bring. And it was like, oh shit, like I thought I knew who you were.
What's like one thing that happened then?
Significant experiences that maybe she had as a child that she felt like, okay, like when we had future kids at the time, we didn't know all the yet, right? Were either wanted or didn't want them to experience. Yeah. So I thought that was quite meaningful because you together, your boyfriend, girlfriend, and then you're going to be husband and wife. Once you become parents, it's completely a brand new like set of values that you never thought this person had or whatnot. And so to put that at the table actually makes you realize, is this person compatible or not, in a way that the last 6-7 years didn't provide essentially.
There's something interesting about what Dan brought up earlier about like balancing like trust and insecurity, right? So that always brings me to question how much your insecurities can bleed over into controlling your partner's actions or influencing your partner's actions.
To me, I think a relationship obviously is a lot of things. Everyone says like, oh, love is a choice, a decision you make. Yes, it's all that, but also for a successful long relationship, I would like to think, I've been with Nat for 10 years, it's really about knowing how to navigate each other's insecurities. Like I know to never do anything that would trigger any of our insecurities. John always brings up about last time for work, we need to go out clubbing and clubbing will have like influencers who are usually female. If I know my partner is uncomfortable with that, I find my way out of those situations. Right? I don't purposely go into those situations.
Because you don't want to be there, right? Like,
I mean, maybe I have to, maybe it will be maybe I don't have to, but it will be beneficial for work.
Okay.
Now there is a 50-50, like, okay, like you can make up for it in other ways, but it's going to be highly beneficial. I wouldn't take that chance. Like to me, it's like, I would never put my partner in a situation where I leave her feeling insecure, but know that she has to just be okay with it because it's for work, for example. You know, so I feel like a relationship is a lot of different things, but it's also about push and pulling and dealing with each other's insecurities. Because at the end of the day, you can ask somebody to change. You can ask somebody to, hey, don't be so insecure about that. But we know deep down, insecurity is one of those things that is so deeply ingrained from just a life of experience of like pain and trauma and all that. It's so hard to change insecurities. It's easier for me to change the places I put myself in or the situations that I put myself in.
but is the hope that they are working through the insecurity so that at some point in your life, you will be able to be free to do the things that you want to do without the insecurity getting in the way, in a sense that you end up living a life where you are avoiding a lot of experiences simply because of your partner's insecurity.
You know, at which point, right, do you start resenting your partner also, yeah? Like, in whatever, I have a lot of friends. They just generally tend to be like more female friends. Then I started seeing somebody and then they were like, hey, how come you got like, what kind of time I see like you post stories like when you hang out with friends, like these girls. Then I'm like, so I showed her all my group chats like, this girl. So I laid it all out. Then she's like, actually, like you got way more like female friends than male friends. And I was like, is that something that you're insecure about? Because like they're literally all friends to me. I like there's no difference there. And she was like, yes, a bit.
Yeah.
And then she was like, how would you feel if I hang out with a lot of guys or my guy friends? And you know, just like I have like very few female friends. Yeah, I know. No, I wouldn't care as much as I thought I would. Because again, to me, it's like trust. But if she had pushed more, what would I have done? Would I have actually not hung out with my friends anymore? And like when I'm in the moment, I'll be like, yeah, okay, it's okay. I won't hang out with them anymore. Because you're like my priority. But when I really think about it, I'm like, no, that would make me so unhappy. Because I can't hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
then I will resent you for it.
So how do you resolve it? Or do you stop seeing them?
We compromised for a bit, but
Right.
then after a while, I was like, that felt a bit like not cool.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, if this is really gonna irk you, then I don't know, maybe we just don't see each other anymore. Because
Yeah.
I really like hanging out with my friends, and there's nothing going on. We're just friends. We hang out, we talk shit, like we drink. We
But
questions.
were you weren't into her enough that you were like, work on your insecurity.
Thankfully, yeah, it was not deep enough for me to have to like be her therapist and like try and solve that. It's like the early stage, so it's like you're not super invested.
Yeah, lor.
Yeah, so I wasn't super invested. So I'm like, we're just having fun, like seeing each other. So this shouldn't be the level of control. But on the other hand, I'm glad they came out early.
Yeah.
Because imagine if we
Yeah,
went like
yeah,
a year and then she goes, by the way, I really don't like it that you hang out with your female friends so much. Then I'm like, what the? Where was this like for the past year?
It's good that we can see that way because I think there's too many times where there is maybe a perception now that, oh, you're insecure, you need to work on it. When I think like, no, it's just incompatibility. Like you will find someone who is okay with your insecurities and will feel like they can change around that.
Like, I don't know if I'll ever get in a situation, right, where, yes, I am never going to do this again because it's making you insecure. Like, if you tell me you can never drink alcohol again because alcohol makes people feel a certain way. That's it. That's the rule for the rest of my life. Like, trust, yeah, that's one thing. Your insecurity is a reflection of your
It
lack of trust
manifests
in me.
itself in control, which is the worst way that it can appear.
No, but the reality is that you will end up finding, or maybe you have found someone that is okay with your friends and the things you like to do. I think it's more idealistic to think that someone can change their insecurities. I think it's way more unsustainable because they're just going to suppress it and it's a ticking time bomb.
And then it manifests in a very, like a blow up way.
I feel
At some
lah.
point,
I feel lah. Yeah. But I think the travel one was okay. What? It's just that you went from travel to habit.
Yeah, but he wasn't insecure about it. Like, I think it's just somehow I just brought it up.
Obviously, you're someone who's very secure about this situation and you don't need any further assurances. But what do you need? Like, do you need him to not go AWOL for like 3 days? You know what I mean?
Oh, recently he went on a 2 weeks work trip. I thought I would be very like independent about it because I do value time alone.
Yeah.
But then actually after the first 2 days,
The
right,
mess the house
I
was.
was like, hey, I got clean. That 2
Yay!
weeks is where I changed my life.
So the socks on level find out.
Yeah, right.
I really
serious.
That's okay.
No.
Laundry, 2 weeks time.
Let me.
No.
The dirty
Neighbors,
socks.
where's your laundry? I want to put everywhere.
Bro, the dirty socks merge with the clean clothes. So
Excuse me.
Sorry.
No, that 2 weeks, right, I really
Same
clean the
old.
house every single day. Because he was a bit busy. Normally he will video call me every day. But like, because he had to OT, like even after work, right? And then I was a bit like, well, I wish he was here. Then I was a bit like scared to be home alone. Now I feel like, oh my god, am I getting needy now? I feel a bit scared, like something bad will happen to him.
A bit anxious about it lah. Then you need like that.
Yeah,
I
like
guess like communication.
Yeah, so I realized like it really helps when he put an AirTag on his back. So, number 2, even if he cannot FaceTime me or something, it's just a text that saying, I'm at the hotel now, I at work now. And he does this like quite often. I never really say, but I think he knows that I need to know that where he is at because I gave him an AirTag.
You see, it's
Give him an AirTag.
recognizing your partner's insecurity.
So was this something that he did before or something he started doing with you?
I think it's in his nature, but I think he knows that I value his safety a lot.
Okay,
and
okay,
I think he wants to reassure me that he's fine. Lah.
Which is why we're going back to my original point where a relationship is all about dealing with your partner's insecurities.
Yeah.
Accommodating.
For sure. Okay, then I got another question since you have so much experience.
With insecurities.
Have the insecurities at the early stages of your relationship, how have these transformed over the years? Are there like less now? Are they all still there but regulated? Or like how does it work?
Okay, some of it is conversations, right? And I think those conversations, we will make compromise and we'll find a way to like merge and like obviously it's not all the way I give in to those insecurities. It's not all the way I say you have to change and just deal with the way I am. It's about finding that middle ground, right?
Yeah, like deep-seated insecurities,
Sure.
right? Like let's say there's like trust issues or whatever kind, right? Do they actually get resolved in some ways?
Right. I think it's very tough to be in a long-term relationship. I mean, again, this was my longest relationship, but I think it's very hard to sustain 10 years and you're both still worried about trust issues. At least from my end, maybe was around the first few years, maybe 3-4. I think it develops over time and there's no like fixed like overnight thing, like suddenly not okay then suddenly okay. I think it's really over time, like you realize how much you love each other, how much you both have been through together, like the fact that we have Ollie and we're both raising him and we both have seen this side of each other that we've never seen before and are so proud and like, you know, have so much pride in each other that like you suddenly become one. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you really feel like one. And then like in that, like it's almost no, like, it's not even about trust already. It's like you're just one team and it's so natural. But I'll give you an example of like getting it wrong. Like I think there was one point in time where like John would often offer anybody a ride, and he's not being creepy. Like he offers guys and girls. If it's on the way, he'll give like offer somebody a lift home. I was someone who always avoided, like you could be living right next to us, right? And if you're a girl, I'm not even going to ask because I'm very scared like Nat would be insecure. And then there was one day that I think Nat was around, and then after that, I think Nat said like, hey, how come you never offer this person a ride? They live next. And I was like, oh, I thought you'd be uncomfortable. And then she's like, it's completely fine. And so like I literally spent 5 years of being maybe an asshole, offering any lifts while John is like the good guy giving lifts. So I assumed wrongly in that scenario.
So you miss out on years of brownie points.
Years of brownie points and yeah,
Good deeds.
Good deeds, I think.
But every time a guy, like a couple, and the guy asks me whether I want to ride, I always say no first because I want to see the girl reaction. Because if I see the girl a bit hesitate, I will say, I really okay. I say, I really okay like if I don't get a ride. But I will always be more cautious. I will never say yes.
Yeah.
Like I will say, oh no, it's okay. Then I see the girl like, yeah, come. Then I go.
Then, oh my God, I've seen this play out so many times.
See, because that time you all asked me for a ride.
Yeah.
As in, because you're the one who said it.
Yeah.
So I will see the partner's reaction. No matter guy or girl, I will see the partner's reaction.
So no matter what I do now, realizing that I was assuming wrongly, now I always just ask Nat first, like, hey, or I'll just say, hey, I'm you okay? I'm going to give this one a ride. Just courtesy. She will be like, no, completely fine, don't have to ask. But
because some partner never ask one, then they just offer, right? Then maybe the other partner not okay, like a bit tired.
I wish men could relate, but women can't drive. So
Whoa! What the?
we're not gonna get
Sorry,
this situation.
who owns your car? Say, who owns your car?
She's not a woman. She's the woman.
His grandmother.
Alison,
Yes.
what time is it?
It's time for painting of the episode.
So Daily Ketchup is proud to support Shaping Hearts, an inclusive art festival selling art pieces made by artists with disabilities.
So this artwork is called The Sky in My Neighborhood by Tan Hui Chen, who has learning and developmental disabilities.
Hui Zhen here has captured the harmony between nature and urban life, and the birds are guiding past a very familiar looking high-rise building, and they're a reminder that nature is just always there, right? Even in the heart of like our neighborhoods, our heartlands.
Yeah, so if you'd like to get this piece for yourself, you can head down to Shaping Hearts happening from 13 to 28 September from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
At our Tampines Hub. And if you want to find out more about the event or the artists themselves, please check out the link in the description below.
Okay, so if there's an amber flag that you own that you want to wash, maybe you send it to Alison and she can wash it. She got more allergies, she can practice. If not, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Hey, don't forget to put out your
I'm
flags.
good at cleaning now, I swear.
That's why you need practice. So you have to poison the dog and then let it die, and then they go through a very painful experience together.
Jeez.
So this is a red flag.
Yeah, because I don't want my partner to ever be sad. It's like, I just left the fucking adorable dog, and I gotta kind of meet this like fucking dog, you know, like, this guy.
Actually,
But technically, if you kill the dogs, right?
Oh my god!
No. But obviously, they don't know you did
You're
it.
a walking.
But you
despite
get
your
rid of
t-shirt,
it.
you're a walking red flag today.